Welcome to episode 36 of the No Scrubs podcast. I'm your host, Lewis, and join with me today, a man who's on the FBI's most wanted list, Stephen. How you going?
I'm actually doing pretty good, and I got a surprise for you and you, whichever way the monitor is.
This is actually a surprise. He was like, I've got something to say right at the start. Do you want me to tell you what it is? I'm like, is it related to the show? He's like, kind of. I'm like, go for it, mate. Just fucking surprise me.
This is a relic. This is ancient tech. This is unk on the dot. Unk on the hour. This is the Game Boy Micro.
Oh, shit.
Dude,
hey.
And look how fucking pinner that is.
Yeah, tiny, eh?
Dude.
Yeah, I couldn't believe, because I never saw one in person, right? Because it seems like they did all right in the Japanese market and not really anywhere else, because everywhere else we're like, we want bigger. We want a bigger screen. And then they're just like, no, small. Yeah, I never had any idea how small they were until recently. What have you been playing on it?
Super Monkey Ball and sucking nuts at it. I was trying to show it, like, you can just see it on the screen there. But dude, check it. So the cartridge goes on the bottom of it, and if you see right there, they have a little tiny port for your earbuds. I mean, your headphones.
Sick.
And like chrome shoulder buttons. Yeah, dude, because I was just like, the funny story was I was at my partner's and I was just like, I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, it's a Game Boy Micro. I was like, what? She's like, yeah. And she just shows me like Pokemon Emerald on it. I was like, that's fucking tiny. And yeah, the other night,
is that a legit Emerald cartridge?
Yeah.
That's worth money, bro. Shit's expensive. It's crazy.
It's not a legit one, but that is a legit Super Monkey Ball cartridge.
So you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh shit, legit Emerald. Like I've got a legit Platinum, but I've got it with no case because I bought it off a guy when we were in high school. So and that's with the case, it's worth so much more money. I'm like, god damn it. It's awesome though.
Yeah.
I've still got a couple of Game Boy Advance games. I think I've still got maybe my Fire Red around somewhere, as well as like a Lord of the Rings Two Towers game.
Damn. Also, I just want to call myself out there. I don't usually hit the electrical device there, but I saw a notification on my phone and my monkey brain was like, we're not live yet. And I was just like, force of habits. Like, oops, like, oh shit, chuck that away.
I can't believe Stephen would do this. Such disgusting behavior. Such, oh my god, absolutely terrible. Old popcorn lungs over here.
But yeah, dude, it's so funny because yeah, Super Monkey Ball's legit. There's a bunch of other games in there, but that Emerald one is so funny because it was like Pokemon Emerald, Madagascar, and like a Nickelodeon game. And I was like, what is this? This will not run. It runs fine. And yeah, partner was just like, you got the podcast on this week? So yeah, she's like, do you wanna hold on to this? Maybe talk about it. I was like, actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's cool. A little piece of history. I've got an OG Game Boy Advance back there. How long are these arms? Long enough. I think this one does have Lord of the Rings in it as well, yeah. Lord of the Rings, Twin Towers, shout out 9/11. They actually got my brother's name on it, on the back. You're like, nah, bro, isn't that your missus? Yes. Nah, isn't that your mate that lives in China? Yes. Isn't that plumber? Yes. Isn't that your friend who's a chef who moved to Australia? Yes. All right. Isn't that Mexican guy we know? Yes. We know a lot of Alexes. All right. It's like the most common name. Alexes and fucking Stevens, bro.
Oh, here's Here's another
Oh,
one.
bro, it's got some old DSE fucking batteries in it too. This is the dude. That shit's ready to explode any day.
Bro, peep this as well. Donkey Kong Country 2.
Oh shit.
But,
We just flexing. Game Boy Pocket, Pokemon Silver. All right, boom. It's over. It's over.
what's real funny is I understand like the OG Game Boy Advances, they had problems with the backlight, and I think like the SP is what corrected that. But I
There's no
personally,
backlight on the OG.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just
none at all.
I just prefer the design of the original Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I do as well, but I think the clamshell is just better. Like, it's because it folds up. Like, yes, it's thicker, but it folds up to a smaller size, so easier to fit in your pocket.
Protects
Also,
the
that
screen.
shape means it protects the screen as well. Backlight, like the SP is significantly better, but I like a non-folding handheld more personally. I say that, but 3DS rules. DS was great, not the OG DS, because we had our mate Jordan. He did not believe that I was like he was like the OG DS did not have a backlight. He was like, yes, it did. He's like, I had one. I was like, hey, mate, Mark had one. It doesn't have one. Mark's like, yeah, bro, it didn't have a backlight. He's like, what the fuck? Like,
Do you mean the
'cause the
OG
next
Game
one,
Boy
like,
Advance or DS?
DS.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
OG DS did not have it because I was at his place. Like, we were like testing out. We were like for potentially going camping. So we set up a tent in his backyard, had a little sleepover when we were in high school. Probably too old for a little bit of that. That's fine. And we're like, he's like, oh, maybe I'll try to play Pokemon Pearl on the DS. Nah, bro, you couldn't see anything. No backlight. So
Right.
yeah, they fixed that with the first iteration of the DS anyway. But Nintendo's got a weird habit of doing that. Like the Switch 2's out. Oh, no OLED on this one. We'll sell you an OLED later. Like they'll take a back step when they do a new console sometimes. Like, you know, like we just said, the Game Boy Advance SP backlight. Do the DS no backlight until the second iteration. You're like, what are you doing? So,
See, I remember because I never had a Game Boy Advance when I was a kid, but I remember playing on a couple of my mates. But they had the most gaudy eyesore versions. Like I remember playing Legacy of Goku on my mates. Like it was like they had like silver tribal tattoo Game Boy Advance ones.
yeah. Yeah,
And
you had the ad with like Mario with the big fucking tribal tattoo. You're like cringe.
And I'm pretty sure my other mate had like an All Blacks one.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
I haven't had many limited edition consoles, but I've got the red, so it's the Pokemon X limited edition 3DS, which I think is pretty sick. Because I had the OG 3DS, and it turns out, well, when they released the XL, they're like, yeah, you've got the screen's 90% larger. And you're like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. I was like, I've got this tiny ass fucking screen on mine, and they've got this big, beautiful screen. And then I ended up going out and buying one once Pokemon released, because I was all my friends bought XLs because I was the only person I knew that had the OG 3DS. I liked quite the angular design and stuff on it. It was quite cool, but yeah, I sold that shit.
Yeah, I remember playing. Mate had maybe it was either because did you have the Legend of Zelda 3DS, like the black and the gold one?
No, I didn't.
I think it might have been Brandon, and like he was playing on it, and I pull out my 3DS XL, and he's just like, "Fuck." I was like, "What?" I was like, "They're so much bigger than mine." But yeah, I too got it for Pokemon Y.
Yeah, man. I had some mates as well that because they just wanted to play Pokemon, they got 2DSs as well. At the time, we're like, oh, cringe, and then you're kind of like, I don't use the 3D on this ever.
No.
I only used it in Link Between Worlds. Shout out my goat. Until Breath of the Wild came out, and I don't know if it's Breath of the Wild or Link Between Worlds is my favorite Zelda game. Actually, I've never played Link to the Past, which I need to. because that is really the Link Between Worlds is the sequel to Link to the Past, essentially. If not like the actual sequel, like spiritually the sequel. So I believe it takes place on the same map as well. So yeah, I need to actually play that. So I was going to play Link to the Past. I was looking up what's the best way to play it. It was like you can play it on the 3DS XL. I was like, oh shit, really? So I looked into homebrewing it, and once I did that, I was like, cool, all right, I'll install the game. And then it was like, yeah, you actually need the new 3DS XL to be able to play this game. And I'm like, what the fuck? I could run this shit on here. What the fuck are you talking about? It's like, nah, it doesn't work. I'm like, fuck's sake. So I didn't bother. I could emulate it. I could there's so many ways I could play it, but I'm like, man, I just want to play it on the 3DS because that's the perfect place to play it.
I always wondered growing up, because I remember, emulating Link to the Past, and it's like, why does he have like pinky purple hair in this one game? I looked up, it's like, they were going to give him like brown hair or something due to like limited color spectrums for the SNES, but it's just like, yeah, his hair looks too much like the ground.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So you just had to go
palette. That's what I'm looking for. Palette.
Yeah. We got to do this. So this is you'll understand. Yeah, we got a bunch of news to get into for you today. So, Sony has reported that fucked that one up right out the gate. I'm doing a good start. Has reported a $765 million impairment loss in relation to the Bungie acquisition last fiscal year. So that means essentially they believe they overpaid $765 million for Bungie. So they now believe, so they paid about $3.6 billion, which to be fair is pretty absurd considering they paid, I think it was like $600 million for Insomniac, who ended up making, the Spider-Man games, which were fucking massive. They previously made Ratchet and Clank, Resistance Fall of Man. They made all sorts of shit. Spyro. Yeah, there we go. And look, Spyro didn't come with that acquisition, but yeah, $600 million. And then Bungie, I think they probably got Insomniac for a good price. So $3.6 billion is a lot of money. So yeah, they think they overpaid, and so they're valuing them still at $2.85 billion, which that's still a lot of money. Still more money than I'm ever going to see in fucking 10 lifetimes. So look, I still think that it's interesting because it hasn't been a great acquisition for them. Marathon is not performing how they would like, but I've never seen a game like Marathon that's so high quality just kind of do averagely. The fan base is really super into it. I think it's an excellent game, but it's just kind of I don't know. It's like in this in between kind of mode between Tarkov and what was that game? Arc Raiders. It's in this in between, it is more hardcore than Arc Raiders and less hardcore than Tarkov. And it just, I think people seem like they want to go one or the other. I personally like this because that's kind of where I am as a gamer. I'm not the most hardcore sweaty player of all time, and I'm probably leaning a little more casual now, but I'm not just a complete casual. So yeah, it's interesting to see, and hopefully they'll manage to turn it around with Marathon. They're adding a PvE mode and stuff coming up, which I think will be good to get people interested, so you don't have to go in and fight Omega Sweats all the time. Yeah, that's $765 million to be yeah, we fucking overpaid big time.
It's a lot of claims.
That's a lot of money. So they've shipped a lot of PS5s this year. They say shipped, so I don't think that means sold. I think that means they have. Yes, Sony has sold them to a mix of consumers and retailers, but they have shipped 93.7 million PS5 so far. So they'll be hitting the 100 million mark later this year. It's currently the 8th best-selling console of all time. So it is closing in on the 101 million of the Wii, which honestly, I would have thought the Wii would have sold more than that. I mean, that's still an absurd amount of units, don't get me wrong. But yeah, just remember everybody's fucking nanas had Wiis and all sorts, eh? Like, hey, shut up. Shut up, nerd. But we might as well just go through like the top 10 best selling
They
right now.
piss themselves?
Hey, the Wii in your fucking mouth, mate.
Let's
So
hear
the
it.
Xbox 360 is number 10 with 84 million units. The PS3 is number 9 with 87.4 million. And look, a lot of people talk about this and go, PlayStation actually won that generation because they sold a few more consoles at the end. I still think, when I think about who had what consoles, I knew a lot more people that had Xbox 360s. And for like the first 5 years of that generation, that was like the only place that my friends were playing multiplayer. It was all there. Yes, they sold a couple more million units in the end, and the end of life, like the end of the PS3's life, the games they started putting out were really good. But oh man, they conceded a lot of ground to Xbox in that generation, and then Xbox threw it all away very quickly. Number 8, of course, PlayStation 5 with 93.7 million. The Nintendo Wii, number 7, at 101.63 million units.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been like closer.
Higher up, a little higher up than 7.
Yeah.
PlayStation, number 6, PlayStation 1, 102.5 million units. PlayStation 4 at number 5. I keep fucking switching between number and rank. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Number 5, PlayStation 4, 117.2 million. Rank number 4, Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Kind of cheating, really, because considering you have a release at 1989 and a release at 1998. However, 118.69 million. Number 3, the DS.
Hey,
This is fucking crazy.
I can believe that.
154.02 million units. Wild. Number 2, Nintendo Switch. 155.92 million units.
Damn.
Dude, if they get another like 4 million, little over 4 million units, they can take out the number 1 spot of the PlayStation 2 at 160 million units. Look, because look at that difference, 160 million units, right? And then Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, 84 million, 87 million, right? And then I guess the Wii was around the same time as well with 100 million. They were all fighting for, like, the PlayStation 2 had the fucking market by its balls, like significantly. And yes, there's more consoles sold than those 3 combined. However, they were all fighting for that market that the PS2 just had completely cornered. And this is something that we're noticing, and this may come up again later. But once Sony gets complacent, like, you can't have them getting complacent. They start making really fucking bad moves. They start doing really dumb shit. And that's what we're seeing this generation as well. And there's more of the stuff to come. They get fucking greedy, and this is why we need Xbox to sort their fucking shit out, because we need someone to actually capitalize on when these cunts are being greedy. And they need someone to go, like, we're gonna do everything better. We're going to take some of your market away, and then Sony locks the fuck in again and then does better. But if they don't have that, like the PS3 generation was a great sign of that, because they came roaring back with the PS4 and did significantly better. So Xbox, sort your shit out so we can actually have Sony return to not being greedy cunts, nickel and diming everyone. Get Sony back to the PS2 era Sony where they were killing it.
Well, the other game changer for PS2, had some immaculate IPs released on there, but also little anecdote from my childhood. I remember I went over to my mate's house, and he had a PS2, and we got like either my older brother or someone bought American Pie on DVD, and it's like, this is a console that can play movies, and we were like, wow.
That was one of the reasons why we got it, because and it wasn't expensive, so we got like the movie bundle, and just got that, and then it was like, oh well, we can watch DVDs and you guys can play games. So the best of both worlds.
The funniest thing is, like, we were halfway through, I think, American Pie 2, and then my mate's dad comes home and he sees what's on the TV. He's like, "Oi, turn that off." And we're like, "Oh fuck, sorry."
Sorry, Dad.
But also, sort of similar story. Shout out to our mate Peter. I remember him saying he was just like fucking pissed off at my dad. It's like, why? It's like, he sold our PS3 and got a Blu-ray player. I was like, the PS3 plays Blu-rays.
Yeah. To be fair, Peter never played that shit anyway. He was once again playing on the Xbox 360. And the first time I ever where me and the boys were like, bro, we've got to sweat up playing games, because we're in Peter's cramped room, the three of us on this fucking couch, and it was fucking hot. And his windows didn't open up properly, so we're just sweating balls playing fucking Halo on his little couch. Man, but yeah. Interesting looking at those stats and see where, nearly at the 100 million mark, which is great. That's where you want to be.
PS2 is still king.
Yeah. Dude, it's weird though. Have you seen the Switch is catching up, and then Sony's like, yeah, we actually found another 5 million PS2 sales in our financials. You're like, I don't know, bro. It feels like you're making shit up now. But yeah, I think the Switch will probably, and I know the Switches aren't selling great now, which makes sense, the old console, but I think it'll happen, man. They just got to push a little more than 5 million units, which, look, that's a lot, but if they start discounting the old stock, I think they can do it.
I also like how Sony, when the PS2 was released, I think it was like a couple of years into its life, they gave the PS1 a nice wee send-off in the form of the PlayStation 1, like the PS1.
Oh,
which was like, yeah, which was like almost, you could fit it in like your jacket pocket. And I was like, that's neat. That's cool.
It's cool as well. They had like the attachable little screen to it as well.
Yeah.
Like, shit like that. Yeah. And that was probably because back then as well, like, you had less TVs in your household back in the day. It was just a thing. So then at least it was like, oh, you don't have to bother your parents and ask them if you can use the TV. You've got your own little screen on it. Dude, I was always jealous. The kids that had that shit, eh? But yeah, they've updated the UI on the PS5 as well. So it's going to show you how many players were in a game that week, which I think is a cool idea. People are always using the Steam data to be like, oh, how many concurrent players and all of that. But if you're going to buy a game and you go, and they're like, oh, there were 5 million players in this game this week. And you go, oh, fuck, okay. There's got shitloads of players. I mean, that's probably way too many. I'm probably massively oversold. But like, there's been 50,000 players in this game this week. You go, oh, cool. I'm going to be able to find a game on this. That's sweet. I like this idea. I think that giving people more data is good to make educated purchases. You know?
What they should do is they should have like a little timer. Don't say what it is, and then when it ticks down, they find out it's like, oh, by the way, this was a timer to the next price increase.
Oh, don't you worry, we're going to be getting to that. We're going to be getting to that real soon. Yeah, so PlayStation did a poll recently as well to see which franchises people would like to see return. And these are what the top 5 ones were. Jak and Daxter had 17.17% of the vote. Sly Cooper, also I didn't know that in some countries it's Sly Raccoon, like it is here, and in America it's Sly Cooper. I had no fucking idea. I kept hearing them. I was like, isn't Sly Cooper the character? That's what the game's called over there.
It's like with I think it's North America versus North America / Japan versus Europe.
Yeah.
the game Tomba. I remember when I bought Tomba 2 and for PlayStation 1, it was called Tombi.
Yeah. Yeah, I always remember it being Tombi.
Yeah.
But I think we used to get the European stuff, but I don't know if we get. Oh, I think it. I think we still do. I think because we're a PAL. Well, it doesn't matter as much anymore, but we were always a PAL region. Was that? And there was NTSC, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we were. I think we were PAL. So. Far less of an issue these days. Yes, I also prefer the name Sly Raccoon than Sly Cooper because I'm like, what is Sly Cooper? What is
Yeah.
Who is this? So that was 12.47%. Resistance was 11.7%. Killzone 11.34%, and Motorstorm at 8.33%. What I find interesting about this, only one of those franchises sold really well, and I think that was Jak and Daxter. I don't think the others did big numbers. I think Sly Cooper did enough that it could have, warranted these sequels and so on. Resistance historically, notoriously did not do well. Killzone was pretty middling, and Motorstorm I don't think sold very well at all. So these are the franchises like, bring them back. I promise we'll buy them this time. This is going to be please bring back Mobius again. We will see it this time.
Well, Killzone, I'm pretty sure was
Morbius, not Mobius.
Mobius. One of the Killzone games, I'm pretty sure, was a PS4 launch title.
Was it Killzone Shadowfall?
I'll say, I think so. But
yeah, I'm pulling it up, Jamie.
Killzone, yeah, Shadowfall.
Yeah. God, look at that, mate, deep in the vault. I remember seeing one of my mates play it, and visually for the time, did look very, very good. I remember seeing it, and I was like, damn, son, where'd you find this? Yeah, just looked great.
I'm not surprised at Jak and Daxter being at the top. Killer franchise, killer spin-off in the form of Jak X. Apparently,
Great, dude, Naughty Dog got the sauce, bro. They could do 3 games in a kart racer. They did it twice in a row. We never got Uncharted. We never got the Kart of Us or the Fast of Us.
The Fast of Us.
Unrelated, we never got Bloodborne Kart.
Kartborn.
But yeah, they just. I still think Crash Team Racing is significantly better than any Mario Kart ever. I don't think it's close. I think it's much, much better.
Just the other thing with Jak and Daxter was their last game wasn't a Naughty Dog. It was don't even know the company, but it was called Lost Frontier, where the whole thing was meant to be riding around in ships. But the problem was they originally made it a PSP game, and then they ported it to PS2. It looked muddy as fuck, wasn't fun. But also, I think there's a lot of fans have unresolved feelings because there was concept arts released about a new Jak and Daxter game ages ago, or it was oh, by the way, here were these concept arts we were going to use for a Jak and Daxter game, and then we just canned it.
Yeah, it's always sad to see. I was just looking up the studio that made it, High Impact Games. They made Lost Frontier, which Lost Frontier surprisingly got a 71 and 72. So 71 on PSP and 72 on Metacritic, which is higher than I thought.
Yeah.
The same studio made Secret Agent Clank, which I wasn't super into, and Ratchet and Clank Size Matters, which unfortunately I thought was very average. It got an 85 on PSP and a 62 on PS2. For a PSP game, it was fine, but the studio was like, we're gonna make these beloved PlayStation franchises and make worse versions of their games.
Well,
which is just unfortunate because Naughty Dog and Insomniac, their games were fucking excellent, and it just kind of devalued the franchise a bit, or both of them.
And like Sucker Punch was there. Like I enjoyed the Sly Cooper games. I enjoyed the like I bashed through all three Infamous games.
Yeah.
But I remember there was a game, and they had a working title, and the working title was so much better than the actual name. It had like Jack, Sly Cooper, I think Ratchet and Clank, but it was a move. It was a game using the PlayStation Move controllers, and I'm pretty sure the working title was called Heroes on the Move. I was like, "That's a brilliant name."
A fun name.
Yeah.
What did it actually end up being called?
Look it up.
Yeah, Heroes on the Move. It's like, oh, it's the PlayStation Move. Oh, it's the dildo ones.
Yeah.
Here you go. Motion controls. Yeah. I never liked motion controls until I played something in VR. And I was like, oh, I get it now.
It got renamed to just PlayStation Move Heroes. Lame.
Yeah, it's just a boring name. That's fine. Yeah, interesting anyway. There have been rumors that they might be trying to find a suitable studio to do a new Jack and Daxter as well, which would be cool. Because I just don't think Naughty Dog's that team anymore. I think they could still make a great Jack and Daxter, don't get me wrong. I just, the guys that did Uncharted and The Last of Us and are doing that new Intergalactic, it's just not the type of game I think they want to make anymore, And I think that's fair. I think the Jack and Daxter games are great, but I think their bar for, I was going to sound pretentious, but their bar for art, I think, is higher than just making a fun little game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think they've moved on from mascot games.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. I still think Insomniac, that last Ratchet and Clank game they did, the one on PS5, was really fucking good.
Shout out to bringing it to Steam.
Which there won't be happening going forwards. Is one of these stories. Yeah, Sony has said that they are no longer going to be bringing single player games to PC. I've said, nah, we're not doing it. Not doing it anymore. You can have all our live service slop, but we're not giving you the single player games. But I think that seeing what's happening with Xbox has been enough for them to be like, no, we're not gonna meet the same fate as them. And as much as I would prefer them to bring these games to PC, I just think that it's just they want to have their own little ecosystem and have you over there, and they'd rather have, probably less people to just and take and get all of the money than get a few extra little sales on PC here and there, which is a shame for us because I wish Saros released on PC, to be honest, because I could just feel. But like, man, I would have been so much better at aiming this on a fucking map. It is what it is. I guess as well, it probably hasn't been profitable enough for them to keep doing it. But Saros, speaking of, has sold around 300,000 copies so far. So roughly net about $22 million on a budget of about $70 million. So they've got a long way to go. But this is an interesting thing I've seen popping up, that because there's a lot of talks about, has Xbox conditioned their players to no longer buy games with Game Pass? And you could be like, yeah, that's probably true. But has PlayStation conditioned their players to be like, you just like extremely cinematic games now? If it isn't this style of game, you're not as interested anymore. Is there some truth in that? Like, Saros is like a gameplay first game, right? But if you want to play, look, I enjoy a lot of these games as well. I actually love God of War. I really enjoyed The Last of Us, but you want to play those or Ghost of Tsushima? Nah, you want every 5 minutes, you want a fucking another 5-minute cutscene to just hold your fucking hand and walk you through it. You want these moments where you're forced to be walking slowly while characters talk and all that shit, because you want this really narrative experience. And I think there could be some truth to that. They don't want the Saros being this gameplay driven thing. They want the Sony experience. They want all that. And I think gameplay wise, I enjoyed Saros more than I've enjoyed most other of these games. Like, I got the platinum in Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales. And then by the time Spider-Man 2 came out, I was like, bro, I've seen enough of this. I don't need to play this. I don't need to do another one of these, bro. I'm fucking over it. I'll get to it eventually. But Horizon Zero Dawn, I loved. I was like, this game's excellent. I got to Forbidden West and I'm like, oh, bro, this shit just takes fucking forever to get to anything. Like, it's just, this is the stuff this is the pacing Sony wants. Like, I got to Ghost of Tsushima eventually, and by the time I got to it, I really enjoyed it. Oh, I got no interest in Ghost of Yotei right now. I need to cleanse my palate for like 3 years before I go to play any of these fucking games, because it's all the same shit with a different characters. They'll throw you in a different world, different abilities, but at the core of it, it's these third person, over the shoulder, like, there's just a style of game. And Saros is a third person, over the shoulder action game as well, but it's just so different than these other ones. It actually stands out.
Do you feel with like some of these Sony games, it's like, this game wants to, without being a walking simulator, it's like, this game wants to be a movie so bad.
Yeah, they do a lot of that. There's always like, I hate all the console wars bullshit, but every time like the PlayStation players are like, look at this, and they don't have anything like this on Xbox, and then they'll show you like a clip of like Spider-Man, and it's like quick time events and stuff, and just swinging through a city for like 2 minutes. And you're like, you did fuck all in this, bro. This is like barely interactive. What are you doing? And there's so many more interactive parts of the game, and that's what they always show you. It's always just visual. It's always like, look at the fidelity. Oh yeah, but what's it like to play? Is it fun? Oh, but look how good it looks. Like, that's just, and I think that's what most of these guys want now. And look, if you like that, there's nothing wrong with that. I think out of those types of games, I think God of War and The Last of Us stand more alone, like, to a little bit less of that formula. They still have it, but they stand out a little bit more. But yeah, I just don't want to. And I know as well, people are like, well, you said that these things are the same, and then you named all the things that make them different. Yeah, they're not one to one exactly the same, but there's like a particular vibe. There's like and this is what I think they tried to do in Saros. I think that they were kind of told, you got to Sony this up a bit and then make it more accessible, and they just kind of took away some of the stuff that made Returnal so good. I still think Saros is good, but if Returnal's like a 9.5 out of 10 for me, Saros is like an 8. It's like, it's really good. And that's just not the thing that those guys are good at. They're not to like make it sound like I'm shitting on them, but they're not all about the fidelity. They're not about these massively long like cutscenes and stuff. They're just like, they're gameplay driven. And that's what I want to see more of. Like Housemarque's next game, if they get to make one, don't try to Sony this one up. Don't try to make this. Your storytelling is okay. Your fidelity's okay. Like, it's good when it's in motion, but don't, just do what you're good at. So I just kind of went off.
Would you say that, like the whole going back to it wants to be a movie so bad, do you reckon that's sort of like kind of symptomatic of like games more and more getting recognized as like art forms?
Yeah, I think in a way. I think that probably is somewhat of a factor. But I think that if you really want games to be an art form, don't try to make them movies.
Yeah.
Let them be games more so than trying to make them movies. Because, don't do for me. I know heaps of people love Hideo Kojima. But I don't need a fucking like hour cutscene for you to tell me a bit of story. Just I don't need that. I play a video game to be an interactive experience. I'm not trying to watch a movie. If I wanted to watch a movie, I'd watch one. But I would rather play a game.
Having said that, I what I do really like about the Yakuza series is I feel like I'm getting three meals off one plate, sick gameplay. Um, the storyline plays out like, almost like a J drama with some wacky humor and shit in it. I'm also getting fucking king ass mini games in it.
Then I think you need to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
No, because you said that was padding.
Well, for me, it felt like it was. Some people might like all the mini games. Yeah, to be fair, Yakuza, they go really in depth in their mini games. Also, I want the record to show I'm not talking about Queen's Blood when I talk about the mini games because that card game was fucking great. I'm super biased, but it was really good. Yeah, look, I'll be honest, that wasn't supposed to be the rant that it was. I just would like to see these places have a bit more variety. Like, don't try to have everyone under your umbrella make the same type of game. Just branch out. Just branch out a bit more, you know?
You don't want your signature like brushstroke or like your selling point being like, this looks like a movie. It's like you don't want it to be like, oh, Michael Bay with explosions, sort of thing.
Yeah. Don't be so one note in your first party
one
line.
note.
You know?
Perfect way of putting it.
With people joke about the Sony is like, oh, another sad dad simulator. Like I said, I love God of War. When God of War, the controversy, when God of War Ragnarok won Game of the Year. Was it first God of War? Or was it Ragnarok won Game of the Year over Red Dead 2? I was like, well, yeah, I way prefer God of War than that. It was good shit. So, I don't know, man. Like what you like.
But up your game.
Yeah.
Don't get stale and complacent.
Absolutely. Speaking of getting stale and complacent, so PS Plus is going up in price again. Originally, it sounded like it was just going to be for new players, and then I've seen apparently no, it's going to be for everyone. So they've said that this is due to market conditions, which is kind of bullshit, to be honest. Considering you look at their financials, and they are fucking absolutely fucking creaming it when it comes to like paid subscriptions. They're making so much money off it. They don't have to charge you for this. They don't actually have to charge you for this at all, to be quite honest. Valve doesn't have a fucking paid subscription for any of this. You've been able to have cloud saves. You've had cloud saves on Steam for free before you were paying for PlayStation Plus.
Damn.
It's been that fucking long. It's crazy. Steam has had them forever. So yeah, it's just a bullshit excuse. They want to make more money when you are publicly traded and not like Valve is private. And yes, you could be like, well, PlayStation makes more money than Valve, and you're like, yeah, they do. You're right. Valve's way smaller. They could scale up more if they wanted, but I think they're happy doing what they're doing. You know, they're just trying little things here and there. Like, let's do a console. Let's do a handheld. Whatever. It's quite amazing when they've got like 350 employees or something. So Valve's like profit margin, I think, is much, much higher, like overall. But you know, a company that's doing way more business, way more employees, way more overheads, but just doing bigger numbers, which makes sense. But they can afford to give us that shit for free. But and you could argue that Xbox, you know, Microsoft was the first one to charge for that shit, and it's their fault. 100%. I agree. Fuck them on that. But PlayStation Plus keeps going up. Game Pass is now starting to go down in price as well, which is good, but not Ultimate. Ultimate still, yes, it dropped down, but it's still fucking expensive. So yeah, I feel like we could see another PlayStation Plus price hike before the end of the year as well. And hopefully Xbox don't with their shit because they're trying to get some goodwill back. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Here was a big one this week as well. PlayStation Store accounts have a massive vulnerability. So Colin Moriarty from Sacred Symbols, he received a message from someone to say that someone was going to hack his PSN account. And within the next 2 days, his account ended up being hacked. So he'd even updated his two-factor authenticator and everything, and they still managed to get in. He got his account back, thankfully, because he reached out to a lot of people and he's got a lot of contacts in the industry and kicked up enough of a stink. But apparently all they need to know your PSN ID and a single piece of old transaction data, which they likely get from like when hacks, these hacks happen and the passwords and stuff leak after a period of time. But this data will leak and then they'll say, oh, we've got this little piece of transaction data. What's the account name? Boom. They just get into your account past your two-factor. This is fucking terrible. Like, part of this idea of when PSN got hacked years ago was that it was free and it was all vulnerable, because, and then they were like, we're going to charge you money now to make this shit more secure and blah, 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 right? Well, people are paying a shitload for their subscription and people can get in real easy still. Colin has talked about as well, he's like, if I lost my PlayStation account, he's like, I might just quit podcasting. He runs the biggest PlayStation podcast in the world. And he's like, what do I fucking do? He's like, I might just quit fucking PlayStation in general, just fucking give it up. Because he's got probably hundreds of thousands of dollars of games tied to his account. So, yeah, when this is ultimately, when there's hundreds of thousands of dollars of digital assets and that, it's a pretty big deal to have this shit fucking secure. They're getting hacked more than, historically, they're getting worse security vulnerabilities than anyone. So they need to fucking sort it out for how much people are paying for this fucking service.
I mean, the first big Sony hack, I got Little Big Planet out of it. Because they were like, oh fuck, everyone's, there's been a massive data breach. Here's a selection of free games. You get to select, I think, two or three.
I think one of them was Infamous. I can't remember if it was one or two as well. Yeah. But we got some more bad news for PlayStation as well. Darksiders War Mastered Edition. Dumb fucking name, not gonna lie. It's gonna cost you an extra $10 to get the upgrade from PS4 to PS5. However, if you got on Xbox, Microsoft's like, just have that shit for free, bro. Don't worry about it. We'll give you the upgrade. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Keep the change, essentially.
Yeah. And it seems like it is just PlayStation who's going, oh, no, we want to make money off this. I know as well, this isn't like a, I mean, we have biases and so on. I mean, I've got my PlayStation on my desk right now because I've been playing Saros and it's fucking great. But goddamn. And this is what I was saying earlier about Sony is like, man, they get ahead, they're leading, and then they will just do all this greedy fucking shit. And this is what we need them to do so Microsoft can catch up, so we can have competition, so Sony can be better again. This isn't about, I want Microsoft to do well. Honestly, like, Xbox has fucked up so many times. I'm also fuck Xbox at this stage. However, clearly we need them because Sony just takes the piss when we don't have them around. Look at all of this. Look at all this fucking shit.
The state of it.
Yeah. So, and Nintendo doesn't seem to be able to keep them in check, and I think it's because they're playing for slightly different fields. The Nintendo is the games first, gameplay over everything else, and the portability side, and then PlayStation is more the higher fidelity. Like that Xbox and PlayStation have been playing in the same field historically, and then Nintendo, since the Wii and the PS3, they've been in different fields essentially. So, yeah, just stop nickel and diming everyone. That's all I want. And secure your fucking online service. Some more bad news. It's the Doom and Gloom podcast this week. Gang of Dragons Studio, Nagoshi Studios, is permanently closed according to their Google business listing. Their website's officially offline now as well. So, man, I'm still hoping someone, like I said, Sony, maybe a Capcom, can go and fund this team and get them, like, maybe they can buy them off NetEase instead of them just being closed, and then pay for the rest of the game to get developed so we can get this game. Because it'd be cool to see more Yakuza-like games, and just the main character in this just being that just big, beefy dude. I'm like, hey, that's
absolute unit.
He looks, dude, I'm like, that's what peak male performance looks like. I want to see that guy fucking people up. So, yeah, hopefully this is like a temporary closure while they get shopped around, but I don't know if it is. I feel like it could be the end, but I think the next time we hear something, it's either going to be good, it's going to be good news or bad news. I don't think there's going to be much neutral going on here. So Switch prices are going up now as well, which, I mean, makes sense hardware-wise with everything that's been happening, unfortunately. State of it. But, yeah, increasing by about 50 USD units. So we're likely going to be getting close to $100 up on them, which is crazy to think about. Like, we're living in the weirdest times where it is cheaper to buy a console at launch than a year after launch. Yeah. It's fucked up. Like in New Zealand, when the PS3 launched, it was either $1,200 or $1,300. Like absurdly expensive. By the end of the generation, when they'd done the second iteration of the Slim, I got one for $500 with 5 games. Like, big difference. But looking at the PS5's like $150 more expensive, I think, than on launch. Pretty crazy. So, yeah, if you want to Switch, buy it before this price increase, but it's probably ain't happening. This was an interesting story. So Harada has a new studio. This is isn't the creator of Tekken, but he's kind of like he's been the face of Tekken for a long time. He was, I think, the game director from Tekken 3. So pretty much I love Tekken 1 and Tekken 2, but Tekken 3 is kind of when Tekken got good, to be quite honest. Like, Tekken 3 was such an excellent game. Like, I think, for my money, probably the best fighting game on PS1, to be quite honest.
It was a console mover for a fighting game. Yeah. Which is niche.
Which is like, yeah, which doesn't happen often. Maybe some iterations of Street Fighter 2, maybe like the 6th version of that they released,
6, that's generous.
Yeah. Yeah, but Street Fighter 2 might be the other one historically that moved consoles. But otherwise, Tekken 3, like, dude, crazy. So, yeah, the new studio is SNK Versus Studio. So Harada wanted to distance himself from Tekken and Bandai Namco, like internal politics, essentially, which I've been hearing the whisperings that other companies have been getting sick of dealing with Bandai Namco as well. Like, they're just becoming more and more difficult to deal with, which is a shame because they've historically been great. SNK offered just a major budget to make this and just heaps of freedom to make what they wanted. So I think this is going to lead to a new fighting game IP, or even crossover ambitions could be cool. Like a new SNK Versus game. I mean, it's in the fucking name of the studio, isn't it?
Another Capcom versus SNK.
We could do, because he wanted to do. They did the Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and they wanted to do the Tekken Cross Street Fighter, but they never got it to work. I think he said it was like 30% done back in the day. It was like it still could happen, but obviously probably not now. Yeah, so he said I wanted a place where I could solely focus on making games with trusted colleagues. And Harada also mentioned about the Bandai Namco executives and said they change quite frequently, and some of them are only interested in obtaining the highest profits possible to further their careers. Like, you could tell from the tweets that he'd been making about how he was pissed off. Like, they were just charging for like stages separately in Tekken, and it wasn't part of like the pass. And he was really fucked off about that. He was like, this is not how it was supposed to be. I was not told it was this. They had two completely separate teams. One was like the monetization team. It sounds like one was like the team working on the game. Dude was just getting fucked off.
And of course, people would have been like, because Harada being Mr. Tekken, he must be getting a lot of hate messages. It's like, how can you allow this? And it's just like, well, it's out of my fucking hands, man.
Yeah, he's very like un-Japanese in the way he man doesn't mind a bit of conflict. Hey, he's not like conflict adverse or anything. He'll fucking take it head on.
Don't ask me for shit.
Yeah. Don't ask me for shit. T-shirt and all sorts, bro. He's cool as fuck. Called Harada. The bad thing about this is Saudi money.
Yeah.
SNK. It's unfortunate, but I've always said never say. I've said I will do my best to not buy any like SNK games or anything because the Saudi money. I don't want to give them money. But I've always said everyone has something. And like I say, if From Software was bought by the Saudis, I'd buy it, bro. I'm not gonna play the new Elden Ring or whatever. I'm still like, I wish I didn't have to give them money. However, here we are. This is one of those situations, man. I think there's a good chance I do give SNK money for the next Harada Project Day because that's my fucking dude. Harada's awesome. Harada's also taken Mr. Yuichi Yonemori. Look, that's better than I usually do. So this is a long-term co-worker he's made him the CCO of SNK Versus. So this guy had worked on Soul Calibur 1 and 2, Project X Zone 1 and 2. He was a game designer on Tekken 5. He was actually the game director of Tekken 6. And he was the project director of Tekken 7. So this guy...
Quite the resume.
Yeah, he's got some fucking development chops. So this is really cool that he got to take this guy with him as well. So I've got a lot of faith, and dude, the production quality on Tekken 8, because I remember when Street Fighter 6 was coming out, I was like, fuck man, this looks awesome. This visually, and I still think Street Fighter 6 looks great. And then I remember seeing Tekken 8, I was like, oh bro, this fucking blows the shit out of the water. Like production wise, like this is crazy. Yeah, it was fucking absurd. Probably the best production quality I've seen in a fighting game ever. Like it is crazy how that game looks. Yeah, so I also think that all the who's the Guilty Gear studio again? Why have I forgotten them?
Arc Systems.
Arc Systems, yeah. Arc Systems games I think also look amazing, but they've got their own kind of style. They look really, really good, really sharp, but it's not that. There's something about Tekken 8, man. That production quality is just, it's probably higher than I've ever seen it on a fighting game. But I love the art style as well, and like I said, I actually do like how Street Fighter 6 looks. But just seeing those trailers so close together, you're like, bro, this is crazy. This is. Yeah. And look, visuals aren't the be all end all, but
they help.
Yeah, definitely help.
Going back to Yuichi Yonemori. So I actually had for 3 years I had the demo of Project Cross Zone, and I was like, "Fuck this!"
Oh, is that how it's pronounced?
I think so, because there's a crossover with like Capcom characters, Bandai Namco characters. I want to say maybe Sega. It was a tactical RPG. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right. It is Cross Zone. Yeah. Oh, dude, I've seen the art for this, but I've actually never seen. I've never seen gameplay.
Oh yeah. It's a crossover between Namco, Capcom, and Sega, because it had Virtua Fighter games. I think because for PS2 Japanese only, they did a Namco versus cross Capcom. So this was the next evolution of it. But anyway, I was hyping it up. I was like, dude, this game is fucking mint. And then, like, months passed when it came out, and Hamish like, oh, did you get it? And I was like, oh, nah. I forgot.
Dude, do you think this game they're working on is going to be a 3D fighter as well?
Yeah.
I think so, because do SNK have any 3D fighters?
Not
Any successful ones?
Not really. The only one I could think of was for consoles. I know that King of Fighters had a spin-off where it was 3D.
Maximum Impact.
Yeah.
King of Fighters Maximum Impact and Samurai Showdown Shin. Sorry, Sin, not Shin. Samurai Showdown. Dude, that's such a tongue twister. Samurai Showdown Sin.
Samurai Showdown Sheen from Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, he's the main character.
No, Ultra Lord's the main character.
Yeah, but who does Sheen turns into him as his ultimate ability? But yeah, so they've tried their hand a couple of times and over the years, but yeah, I think that a 3D fighter makes sense because Harada is that guy, and they've already got 2D fighters.
Yeah.
Well, King of Fighters, which apparently with King of Fighters consistently they've said it's like, so for some reason every second King of Fighters is bad. It's apparently a thing. Which means also every second one is good. Apparently it goes good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. Like just, and it's been like that forever.
Yeah, I mean, 11 for, I want to say it was PS2. Great cast of characters. 12, sucked ass. 13, great. 14, it looked like a PS2 game because they went instead of doing those really nice sprites that they did for 13, they went 3D, but like, yeah.
But it seems like that kind of checks out, eh? Like, that's all right.
Because like
Can't win them all.
Their main fight. Well, they've got three. In recent years, they've got three fighters under their belt in the form of they had a Samurai Showdown released several years ago. They had King of Fighters, and they had City of the Wolves.
Yeah, that's City of the Wolves was Fatal Fury, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think a 3D would actually make a lot of sense in there. It sounds like as well it's being run in Japan and it's completely separate from everything else SNK. So man, I would love to see Harada succeed, even if this means Saudi's making money. Like once again, it's the Saudi Arabian royal family that I'm just like, oh man, those guys that behead journalists, not just the residents of Saudi Arabia for the record.
Well, yeah.
I should clarify because it's like when you're like people are like fuck China or fuck America and you're like what the regular people you're like oh no the government you're like, oh that's fair okay whatever you say whatever that's fine.
So, but also it would probably help if you specify that because generalizing can sound a bit racist.
Yeah, absolutely.
To China, Americans.
I was just trying to think about who do I was thinking of like, who's a race I could say, fuck the Italians. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck pasta. Fuck pizza. Bibbidi bobbidi. No, you guys are right in my books. No, I wouldn't say anything I can't take back. Look at my of course, my fat ass loves pizza, bro. What are we saying? I saw, I think it was Shane Gillis was saying about how it's like, man, Italians are the last race that we're allowed to be racist to. Yeah, bibbidi bobbidi, and everyone has a laugh about it. But it's like, but one day someone's gonna be the last person to do that. And he's like, I was the last one when it came to Chinese people. But there will come a time where someone will go, oh, bibbidi bobbidi, like, oh, bro, you can't do that. What do you mean? What do you mean? This was always okay. But we say it with like, I say it with love, I
And
love
jest.
yeah.
Oh, it's like a story a story I've said so many times to the boys off stream, but like one of the bosses at work, she's Australian Italian. It's like I get the Australian part, but I don't really see the Italian part. And she's getting into an argument with one of them, and she's just like says to the other man, she's like, communication. I was like, there it is. There it fucking is.
Yeah, man. One of my favorite like boomer jokes is the "How do you silence an Italian? Cut off their hands." It's a very expressive language. And look, I know it's a boomer joke, but I'm like, it's kind of fun. So Skull and Bones, everyone's favorite quadruple A game, was on sale this week for $3. Mario 64 had said that 75 cents per A. This is taking the piss out of Ubisoft being like, we're doing the first quadruple A games. And it was not Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is a great game. I take that back. Sorry. Skull and Bones. I nearly bought Skull and Bones because it was $5 for New Zealand. I was like, do I buy this? And I'm like, you aren't going to play this. You are never going to play this. I'm like, okay. So interesting about that game. They got, I believe it was like a team over in Singapore, and they got some kind of grant from the Singapore government to make the game. So they had to, it was in development hell for years, and they had to release it because they got that grant. So they couldn't just not release the game. eBay has rejected the proposal for GameStop to buy them and has said, we have concluded that your proposal is neither credible nor attractive.
Oh.
Yeah, GameStop, my shares, I'm going to check right now, but I feel like that probably did my shares gave them a wee tumble. I think they were already not doing shit hot, to be honest. They had been doing better though. It was quite surprising. They were up a little bit. Oh, not up, sorry. They were just less down. Yeah, they're about where they were now. That's fine. I know they're never gonna be worth money, but you know, we pray and hope.
Dude, informal language, brutal. Your proposal is neither credible nor attractive. It's like saying, yeah, you're full of shit and you're ugly. And what you have on the table...
You are ugly and you are gay.
And what you have on the table, ugly too.
You're ugly, your wife is ugly, and your kids are ugly.
And when they have kids, ugly.
Like, what the fuck? Why are you bringing these into... What are you saying? The son? What are you saying? Fuck me for? Yeah.
Just getting insulted at the proposal.
I would never do business with someone so fucking ugly. I'm bro. What the fuck? I've got the money. Legend of Zelda film release date has moved to the 30th of April, 2027. I'm still probably not seeing this shit, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Have you seen either Mario movie?
No.
Nah. The first one's quite fun. The second one I heard was all right as well, but I don't know, man. Maybe one day.
I just heard the first one was like an IP, a little bit of an IP flex, but
yeah,
enjoyable. Second one,
even more so in the second one.
Second one I've heard is like 4 kids, great. 4 fans, yeah,
pretty much. And that's the thing, man. It's like they are kids' movies at the end of the day, right? You can. There are still, you know, Pixar movies are great movies and great kids movies, but some kids movies are just kids movies at the end of the day.
And just remember, this is Super Mario, a Nintendo IP, the same company who tried selling you cardboard.
Succeeded in selling you cardboard.
Did you buy it? Did you buy some Labo?
No, I didn't.
No.
Nah, it wasn't for me. I thought it was too expensive, but I thought like the idea behind it, I was like, that's kind of cool. I think if it was cheaper, I would have been like, and look, I know that like the cardboard was expensive, but there was a bunch of software behind it to drive it, so that's why. But still, I'm like, nah.
It's like the
No, thank
idea
you.
of them being like, we don't need VR goggles. We've got grabs and cardboard. It's like, we've got our own ones.
Dude, I remember when there was a thing for a hot minute of like the slap your phone into this little case and have your VR goggles thing. That was the thing for a hot minute, but that shit sucked.
Did.
So Amazon has officially cancelled the Lord of the Rings MMO they're working on, and they've said they continue to explore a compelling new game experience set in Middle Earth. Honestly, I think this is the right move, and I think a massive scale Lord of the Rings MMO would be really cool. But Amazon has had two MMOs flop in the last while anyway. One of them being New World, the other one being can't even fucking remember. I think it is time they try something else. Just creating an MMO is not easy at all. It's one of the hardest games to fight to well, the hardest genres to actually have a massive like game success in. Like when you think about really in MMOs right now, like yes, there are some smaller ones that are still doing okay, like Guild Wars 2, but really there's two major players in the space, at least in the West. Actually, three in the West, and that's World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, which let's be honest, was their second attempt at Final Fantasy 14 because they fucked up the first time.
Yep.
And RuneScape. It's actually RuneScape. It genuinely is. Like when I said two, then I'm like, wait a second, RuneScape's still killing it quietly.
Dude,
yeah, but I don't think there's and you know someone be like, oh, what about EVE Online or what about this or something?
what about them?
Just I think there's a big three right now, and it doesn't mean that these other ones aren't doing decently, like quietly, but it's just not to the same scale. Also, Stephen, Dragon Ball Online doesn't count because it's got 3 concurrent players,
and it's a private server of a game that ended in like early mid 2000s.
Yep. So there's a thing. Like I remember, someone was getting really mad at me like years and years ago because something was like a dead game. He's like, "No, it's not a dead game. I play it," and I was like, "You got to understand, man. This isn't like me shitting on it personally because you like it. I'm saying this because there's like 200 players. This is not a thriving game. This is a dead game." This is way back when as well. And I was like, bro, Warcraft 3, this is back in the day. So I was like, Warcraft 3 is a dead game. I love that shit. I'll try to find a game of Footman Frenzy whenever I can, but there's hundreds of players on there now. Not tens of thousands anymore. This game's not thriving.
You're like, this isn't personal, it's statistics.
Yeah. And dead doesn't mean 0 players, but like if you can't just get in and find a game and you've got to queue up for ages, that's pretty much a dead game in my eyes. So, and that's okay. There's a lot of games as well that will be like you jump on in the server browser. There's like 2 servers with players playing it, and that's it. And they're like, you used to have hundreds of servers on this. Titanfall 2. I adore Titanfall 2. It's a dead game, sadly. And every now and again, something will happen, and everyone goes, "Oh, Titanfall 2," and then everyone jumps on again, and it's great. But if every game you play of that, you are seeing the same names pop up. It's very unfortunate because the game is excellent. Dead game. So Xbox are working on a couple new controllers. So one of them is for cloud gaming, and it's kind of odd looking. It looks quite flat. So, but look, don't knock it till you try it, I guess. And the next one is an Elite Controller Gen 3. So it's rumored to have little scroll wheels on the bottom of the controller. I don't know what the fuck those are for, but surely they've got an idea behind what those would be about. Maybe it's a cool idea. But and there's a removable rechargeable battery as well, which I think is great. Removable, that's excellent because right now, like the other premium controllers, like you've got double A's in there, right? Which is fine, but I think the removable part is the most exciting. I think, and that's because on the other hand, when you've got the DualSense Edge, unless you are confident enough to take these things apart. Their battery life is already crap. It's like less than. Let me see if I can find it just so I'm not spreading misinformation. But it's pretty poor in the grand scheme of things. 4 to 7 hours, right? Yeah, look, end of the day, man, a 7-hour gaming session's a long time, but it's just nice to not have to charge this shit always. Like my 8-bit Do Ultimate, 8-bit Do, because I've been pronouncing it wrong forever. I want to see just the battery life is on that. Battery life. That shit is 14 to 32 hours. That is at minimum, this is twice as long as the DualSense Edge is high end. You know, for a controller that costs less than half the price.
Them dual edge ones, fuck, they're expensive.
Yeah. If I see, what do we pay for that in New Zealand? Dude, $325 for that. This controller, I think, it cost me, I got it on sale, $80. And yes, the DualSense Edge does a lot more than that controller, but this has got... Also, this isn't supposed to be just a rant about DualSense Edge, because I'm also fucked off at Microsoft because my first gen Xbox Elite controller got stick drift. So I'm real fucked off about that. I'm real dark on them. This shit's got TMR sticks that won't drift. DualSense Edge, you can actually replace the sticks, but they are standard like potentiometer sticks. So they're nothing special, but at least they are easily replaceable. You essentially, there's a little lever you pull and the stick comes out and you can bolt another one on. So I do like that. But where I was going with this in the premium controller rant is that at least the battery is replaceable in this Xbox controller, which I think is really good. Just if they don't have TMR sticks, I'm not even going to fucking spit in the direction of this fucking controller. I'm not even going to look at it, bro. I'm not even going to cum buckets in the direction of that controller.
You don't even get a dribble.
Not even a dribble, mate. I'm going to reroute over here.
No, you'll catch him mid-air and be like, you don't deserve this.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think if you're going to release a premium controller, you have to have TMR sticks are the bare minimum, like the Steam controller, which I want. I want real fucking bad, but I cannot have because I live in a stupid fucking country that nobody wants to ship to. So, you know, that's fine. That is completely fine. So yeah, we will see what's happening. Oh, I also have a little theory. A game theory. So randomly MatPat was on a fucking like ad for some American football team. It was like some parody Street Fighter game ad. And I'm like, what the fuck? Random. Rest in peace, MatPat. So I think that touchpads are going to start becoming a thing on controllers. I know as well, PlayStation did it, PS4. They did it with PS5, and you go, oh, this might take off. Nobody did it. Then Steam, because they'd already planned on doing it as well, and theirs is more for, we think this is a good way to games that don't have mouse support, don't have controller support, to be able to move it around like a mouse and stuff like that. And you can use it in big picture mode and that. And now that I've got touchpads, I can see this becoming more of a thing. And I think it was like, at first it's like, oh, well, PlayStation just does that. That's their thing. Someone else is doing it. And people were talking about, you can have it so swiping up, left, down, right, either of those directions, you could have a different shortcut on there to do a different function. You've got essentially like, yes, you've got your buttons on the back as well. I think it's 4 on the back, but now you have on the touchpads potentially 8 more functions that you can completely customize to whatever you want. So, yeah, I think in the next couple of years, we're going to start seeing more of these, whether it's third parties or whether Microsoft decides we're going to do the same or not. Don't know yet. All I know is Nintendo probably won't do the same as everyone else because they For better or for worse, I mean, they do chase, not trend chase, but they do eventually go, oh, everyone's doing paid online subscriptions. I guess we better do it too. But they're the least likely to do that. So, yeah. I think it's going to happen. Look, and if 2 years' time no one's done it, come back and comment on this video by you are stupid. STOOPID, all caps. Stupid. But I really do think people are going to start doing it. And hopefully, at the minimum, their premium controllers start coming with TMR sticks. Or at least Hall effect sticks. I just don't want any more stick drift, bro.
Nah.
I've had it on 2 Xbox controllers. I've had it on a PlayStation controller. I've had it on
Switch.
I've had it on Switch on two different Joy-Con. They were third-party Joy-Cons. They were the Hori ones because they're bigger for, for man hands. So, but I didn't use the Joy-Cons themselves very much because they're too small for me. Yeah, so hopefully they'll do it and start a trend and happy days. Can you believe it, Stephen? Xbox has changed their name.
To what?
They've completely changed it.
To what?
To Xbox, in all caps.
Ah.
They did a poll on Twitter and they're like, what would you prefer, Xbox or Xbox? And people chose Xbox. I don't think this changes anything, bro. I don't think this is necessary. I don't care. We'll see. We just need to start putting out these games, mate. Give me Gears E-Day, give me Fable. Give me Forza Horizon 6. Oh shit. Oh.
Give us a roguelite of Voodoo Vince.
Now we're fucking talking. Hey, give me a Forza Horizon Battle Royale mode. Oh, wait, they do that. I remember talking to the streamer Rudism at a party once, and he was saying, he's like, yeah, man, I really got into that Forza Horizon Battle Royale mode. I'm like, really? He's like, dude, it's so fucking good. You got to try it. So yeah, it's getting great reviews. It's awesome. And I was just looking, I was like, okay, let's look at their overall reviews, their Metacritic scores. They might have the best run of games ever. Like, genuinely, it's actually insane. Horizon 1, 85. Horizon 2, 86. Horizon 3, 91. Horizon 4, 92. 5, 92. 6, 92. Actually fucking insane. Like I say, possibly for a franchise, maybe one of the best runs of games ever. 6 games, the lowest is an 85, and they've got 3 92s in a row and 191 before that. That's bonkers. And you're just like, yeah, but cars.
Nah, because I don't know. I could get behind a good old racing game.
You get behind the wheel?
Get behind the wheel. No, the thing is, would you get the most out of it by having like a sim setup?
Yes and no. What I like about Horizon, so your Forza Motorsport, which it sounds like they're not really going to be doing as much going forwards, is like the serious like racing sim one. Horizon they do all the work so the cars feel like they are real cars to drive, but almost a little more arcadey and closer to like a Need for Speed than a serious racing sim, even though the cars drive like real cars, which is great. So you can play this either way. My boss, he took the day off to play it. He was so fucking pumped. He was like, this is the most excited I've been for a game in years, which is awesome for him. I was like, have you taken it for a spin with the wheel yet? He's like, nah, man, I'm just playing on controller at the moment. But he's got a full racing setup,
Man.
But he's just like, because I saw people as well. People were just, and I know I've been feeling negative on some of these things. This is the news part that we're negative on. This is just the world we live in. But I'm getting really sick of just so much negativity online. There's a set part where you race a mech and it looks fucking awesome, like, or a big Gundam or something, which is fitting for Japan, right? people are like, oh, I guess there's no more serious racing games. It's like, bro, you have Project Cars and Assetto Corsa and PlayStation, you've got Gran Turismo. Like, you have so many fucking options for serious races. You don't have to play Horizon. It's fine. This isn't that game. This isn't that hardcore racer. Like, yes, it plays actually like a hardcore racer, but it is more arcadey by design. And that's why it's also so much more popular than most of these other ones. So people just want to bitch about anything. But I gotta say, also, over the space of 3 days between him and his son, they spent 30 hours on the game.
Ooh, bonding.
Yes. Yeah, so he's into it. But this makes me ask the question: can a racing game win Game of the Year? What do you think? I don't think so in current day.
I don't think we're quite there.
I think that this is the 6th Forza Horizon game, right? And, you know, by all accounts, that 5 and 6 are, or even 4 as well. 4, 5, and 6 are the best that the series has ever been. But I don't think it's doing enough different to be able to win Game of the Year from 5 to 6, right? I think that's the biggest thing. I think a racing game could win Game of the Year. Also, it's got to compete against like GTA 6. I think it could win some awards, but I don't think it would win Game of the Year. I think it'd be a very tall task. I think you would have to change the game entirely. Like, you'd have to recreate it. Like something nobody had ever seen before in a racing game to be able to do it. And I must say, graphically, this game looks incredible. It requires, even though it looks better, it requires less system resources than 5 that came out. I think in 2019 it might have come out. Like, which is absolutely crazy to use less resources and looks, I say much better. It doesn't mean that 5 looked bad. But it is just a step up. Oh no, 2021. Sorry, 2021. So it was 5 years ago. Oh well, just about. Yeah, it was November 2021. Just about 5 years ago. For it to use less system requirements and look better is impressive. Insane amounts of polish, insane amounts of optimization. Good shit, man.
I'll ride the hype train by adding it to my wish list.
It's on Game Pass, so I've still got that paid up until October. Also, man, it has been an average year for Game Pass compared to some other years. Like, I know it's going to get better. I know we're getting Farblay. I know we're getting Gears E-Day. But compared to other years, and I know this is also a good addition, it just hasn't been as exceptional. I think last year was insane. Like, I'm looking at how many games I've finished this year compared to last year. I'm going to have done like fucking 3 times as many games. Like last year I did 3 times that I'm going to be done by the end of this year. Game Pass was just providing. We will see. We'll see how the year goes. But, yeah. Great addition to Game Pass. Great game. I've installed it. Just got to get around to playing it. Subnautica 2 has sold more than 2 million copies within its first 12 hours of release. So I hope after the stories that had come out earlier in the year about the parent company just trying to fuck them over, I hope that higher ups earn all these bonuses and then they all leave the company. I hope they get every fucking bonus, they hit every bonus metric they can, get paid millions of dollars, and then fuck off and go, yeah, this publisher, remember when they try to fuck us over? Yeah. So great to see the game doing well. It sounds like it is, still early access, so long way to go for full release, but yeah, good shit, man. Hasbro's cancelled its action-adventure Dungeons & Dragons game by Giant Skull. So this was led by Stig Asmussen. I butchered it, but it is what it is.
Oh, it's not.
Sorry, your name is spelled funny for my English brain. skill issue in not being, you know, multilingual. This guy directed God of War 3, straight fucking banger. Love that game. And Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, also just fucking excellent game. Like, this guy's got he's got some chops, man. He's got the sauce. He's got the sauce for sure. But it's a shame that the game's been cancelled. So hopefully we get to see something from him in the studio, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons or not. But yeah, sad to see it's been cancelled.
For a sec there, I thought it was that game that was shown off at the Game Awards, Warlock.
Yeah, not that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warlock, I know it was a cinematic trailer, but I was like, this does look pretty cool.
And plus the Hexblade Warlock was such a great addition to Baldur's Gate 3.
All right, nerd. Easy on. Yeah, absolutely. There's taking photos now for a silly one. I sent Gabe Newell an email, and look, ChatGPT co-wrote it. Okay, so there's a part in here that, look, I did stretch the truth a little bit. But I was talking to our boy Scriptlet, you know, friend of the show, and I was like, man, I'm really fucked off that Gabe Newell lives in New Zealand, and we can't buy the Steam controller here. This shit fucking sucks. And he's like, why don't you send him an email? He's got an open email address. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So I'll read you out the email that ChatGPT wrote, to be honest. It said, hi, Gabe. This was my part, though. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm writing regarding Steam hardware not currently being available for purchase in New Zealand. I know you spend a bit of time in our beautiful country, so I thought it was worth asking on behalf of many Kiwi gamers, why can't we buy Valve hardware here? Not including parallel imported. I'd love to get my hands on the Steam controller too. I bought the original Steam controller and Steam Link back in the day, and both were fantastic. That's stretching the truth. The Steam controller was the first one. A little average, but it was a fun idea. Also, the double touch pads, but only one thumbstick. They were trying something before, you know. They tried to run before they could walk. But Steam Link was very good. It would be great if Valve could consider making current and future hardware available to New Zealand customers as well. Australia is able to purchase Valve hardware, so it does feel like we're being left out a bit over here. God, I'm so bad at reading even the shit I've read back to myself a couple of times, though. All said, I really appreciate what you and the team at Valve do. Keep up the good work. Kind regards, Lewis. So, look, I haven't heard back from the man himself, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I would like to hear back, and maybe he'll go, look, logistically, it's just not possible. And I'm going, okay, fair enough. I get it.
I just like the idea. You go.
We are small market. I get it.
I just like the idea of him just being at the computer, just like doing something. He gets like an email notification. He's like, an email from Lewis' full last name. I gotta get on to that.
He's like, oh shit, this seems important.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, Lewis, it seems important.
that's my dude. Yeah. So I hope I hear back, but if I don't, I get it. He's a busy man. I'm a nobody. Being like, sell me stuff, please. I want to consume.
It's like one of the third-party people who works with employment. One of his coworkers was like, oh, he got an email from Gabe, and I was like, what? He was like, ask him about it. And so he was doing an installation job, and the guy was just like, oh, I'm also like good mates with Gabe, and he's just like, really? He's like, yeah. And he's just like, he didn't say, I'm pretty sure he didn't say prove it, but basically what he did is he emailed him about, it's like, hey, I heard you did a installation for my friend, good shit, Gabe. and he has that pinned on like the company email.
Dude, that rules. That's really cool. Speaking of Valve, they've got some new tags on Steam, on the Steam store. So we got Bullet Heaven, so the opposite of Bullet Hell. It's focused on upgrades while automatically attacking hordes of enemies, which I think Bullet Heaven is going to be the one, not this like auto battler or whatever. I think Bullet Heaven is going to be the term that takes off.
The other term I heard was survivors like.
Yeah, there's been a few, but I think Bullet Heaven's the one that's going to stick now. So, desktop companion, we've got organizing, cleaning, decorating. Wuxia, which is historical fantasy adventure featuring martial arts, competing sex, and inner quit QI, bro. What the fuck? That's not
Key?
I don't know. Is that key? Dragon Ball Z key was like KI, wasn't it? So I don't know. I think this is Chinese. Bro, I can't pronounce this shit. It's XIANXIA, bro. I don't know. Zia.
Would it be she?
She.
Like Ling Xiaoyu?
Shan. Xia.
Dude, that's what helped me wrap my head around XI is Tekken 3. And someone's like, oh, my favorite character is like Ling Xiaoyu. It was just like, you're not even trying.
Yeah. Like Xiao Ming. Yeah. It's fantasy adventure focused on cultivating supernatural powers and strength. So I think this is because there is now a growing Chinese audience on Steam. So that makes sense to add those. Falling blocks, espionage, samurai, zoo, wolves, capybaras, kind of weird tech, animals, cult, poker, language learning. But they removed a bunch of tags as well. And I think most of this is probably good to get rid of in a way, but it's 3D vision, ambient, America, blood, crowdfunded, cult classic, documentary, drama, Dungeons and Dragons, electronic, experience, feature film, foreign. Foreign's kind of a funny one to be like, you're foreign to who?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's going to be different country to country. Game Maker, Games Workshop, Illuminati, Kickstarter, Lego, Masterpiece, Mature, Movie, Narration. Not safe for work's an interesting one because people think that Steam's going to start getting rid of some not safe for work stuff, which, look, I don't care that I'm not going to buy some not safe for work Guna games, but at the same time, like, they don't bother me them being there.
They're going to rename it as Horny.
Yeah. Roguevania, RPG Maker, Warhammer 40k, web publishing, well written. I don't think well written's a bad one, to be honest. I don't think that needs to go. Because you could be like, oh, that's really good storytelling. It's really well written. You might want to tag that. But I get why a lot of those are like, Game Maker is like, the tag is the engine of the game. Like, tag it as Unreal Engine, you know? I don't think that's, unless you're really against Game Maker. But interesting anyway. We got a lot of tags. I think that organizing and cleaning, decorating, that kind of thing, those games are getting more popular, so it makes sense. Samurai could be like as well, like gives you an idea of what type of game, and espionage. So, yeah, I think ultimately are mostly positive changes for that. CI Games.
Bait as a tag.
Well, let's hope they don't get rid of that one for your sakes. Then. CI Games, who make Lords of the Fallen, ending their publishing agreement with Epic Games for Lords of the Fallen 2. Yes! Yeah! Take that, Tim Sweeney! Anyway, sorry, I got a little excited there. This is great news, bro. I was wanting to day one this game, and I was like, I want to play it on PC, but I'm not buying it on the Epic Store. I was like, I'm just simply not doing it. I was like, do I get it on PlayStation? And I was umming and ahhing if I was day oneing it on PlayStation, which I'd still rather not. I'd rather play on PC. I'm playing as day one now. I'm fucking chuffed. So he actually did thank Tim Sweeney and the team at Epic as well for all their assistance and everything, and said, they really have helped us out a lot with this, but they haven't said, we're coming to Steam. They're like, oh, we've now got the publishing right deals back for whatever PC platform we want. Wonder which platforms that could be. It'd be cool to see it at Steam, GOG, and still release it on Epic as well, and sell like 3 copies. So I still haven't played Alan Wake 2 because it's not on Steam. Just straight up, I'm not buying it on the Epic Store, bro. It's just not fucking happening. So if they release it on Steam, I'll then need to wait for it to be discounted because I'm not paying $120 for a game that's been out for 5 years, by the time it comes to Steam, or 2 years, or however long, right? So yeah, great news for me and all this other fucking Souls-like nerds. So I really enjoyed, because they rebooted Lords of the Fallen. The first game was pretty rough, and then they did this reboot, and it was actually really good. Like, it was a little rough around the edges on launch, which is when I played it, but I was still like, I see the vision. This is very good. And it's much better now. They've kept adding to it. Apparently the 2.0 was amazing. So, but I've finished it. I'm done. I don't need another playthrough. But yeah, very, very excited for this game now. I got to see when is it actually launching? Have they got a date for it? August. Hell yeah. Great news. Yeah, so we got a little culture war bullshit. So this is something I was thinking, do I bother bringing up? But I think it's important that we do talk about it. But everyone's favorite gamer, Anita Sarkeesian, has come up. And I know very 2016, very Gamergate of us to talk about this. But, and she consulted on Slay the Spire 2. And people are just losing their fucking minds, right? My opinion is that she is essentially a grifter. There's been times where she's like, I always played games when I was a kid, and then she's done talks later to be like, I didn't play games when I was a child, and I needed to learn a lot about the industry when I was much older. And you're like, well, which one is it? This is why I think she's a grifter. However, I'm not really bothered by her working or consulting on Slay the Spire 2. Nobody knew that she'd worked on the game until they saw the credits like a month later, right? Oh, they made Slay the Spire 2 woke. It was so much less woke than the first one, bro. It's a card game. Like, this character had a slight bit of cleavage and now they don't in the second one. Like, nobody complained about any of that shit. And then once they saw her name, they're like, oh, a terrible game, downvoting it. I know there's talks of some people are like, why would I want to give money to a person who hates gamers, so just hates me? And I'm like, I get that sentiment for sure. But I played the game and I enjoyed it. I've put a little time into it. I'm like, this is a good game. It doesn't change my mind if it's a good or bad game because she consulted on it. Like, I enjoyed it before. I'm not going to enjoy it less now. This is just, I don't know, this is how I feel like some people say about an argument for AI. It's like, you'd be like, if you made a game with AI and I loved it, and then I found out later, it'd be like, oh, it'd be like if you gave me a sandwich and I took a bite and I enjoyed it, and then you told me I shit in that sandwich. I'm like, it's really not. And like, that's not a really fair comparison. This is something you enjoyed. You wouldn't enjoy eating shit.
No.
You could be like, this would actually be close to like, you're like, I don't like beetroot. Someone makes you a sandwich with beetroot and you take a bite and you're like, that's really good. Oh, there's beetroot in it. You go, what? And then you go, oh, I don't like it anymore. No, you did like it. You liked it, but now you don't because it's in your head. I can't like it.
You must have seen that tweet where it was just like people complaining about Sarkeesian being involved with Slay the Spire 2. It was like a tweet. It was like, Gamergate was 12 years old, and some of you are still 12 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It might have been mid 2014. Like it is crazy, and I still think obviously Gamergate's interesting because it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Depends on what happened, right? And Zoe Quinn was up to all sorts of fuck shit, it seems, at the time, and her and Anita Sarkeesian were very much on the same side of this, and but like you say, it was 12 years ago. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. If she's consulting on this and I didn't notice, sure. If I was playing the game and I was like, there's something off here. They've changed a lot of the stuff in this, like between 1 and 2. I've already said Slay the Spire 2 feels like Slay the Spire 1.5 to me. Right, that's my only thing. I'm like, it's fine. When I actually played Vampire Crawlers, I was like, oh, I way prefer this because it's something different. But I still think Slay the Spire 2 is a really good game. And just because you could have Adolf Hitler work on this game and I would still be like, oh yeah, look, I don't agree with him killing 6 million Jews. However, I can't say that I hated playing the game now, retrospectively. Like, it's not going to change how I feel about the game.
What about the Saudi
It would make me feel like
family?
I wouldn't want to give Adolf Hitler money, to be fair.
Yeah.
Not that I think she's anywhere near as bad
No.
as Adolf Hitler, but I wanted to give an extreme example. Also, she's worse, clearly. Like, that's how people talk about her, eh? Like, you don't have to like her, but just like I don't think she made the game any better or any worse, really. Like, objectively, to be quite honest. Sorry, you were going to say something?
I was just like, but what if the Saudi royal family consulted on the game?
I still feel the same way. I would be like, knowing it after, I would be like, damn it, I wouldn't have given it money. And maybe that's how some people feel. Like if I knew Anita Sarkeesian worked on it, I wouldn't have paid money for it. Maybe. And look, if that's how you feel, that's completely fair and justified way to feel. To be like, you might feel like I guess you feel misled, but it's technically, I don't know. It's not. It's like with the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff a while back. It's like, if you played a game and you really enjoyed it and then you found out they consulted on it, does it make it an any worse game? No. But if you knew about it beforehand, it might change your opinion on it.
See, that's interesting because like there was like a Steam curator that some people were trying to like ban because he would curate games that had Sweet Baby Inc. work in it.
Yeah, to be honest, I did follow that Steam curation list because I was curious. And a lot of the games were completely fine, and a lot of them were really trash.
Yeah.
So they were mostly like I say, some of them being fine. They were mostly doing it. It feels like as like not the people making the list. I just felt like the games they were consulting on were games that were already not going to be for me anyway.
Yeah. So nothing of value lost, sort of thing.
Like Dustborn, right? Dustborn looks. I haven't played it, but Dustborn looks like just a terrible game. Like, you unlock the power of cancelling, and you unlock the power of triggering. It's like, this is
so on the nose and corny.
Very corny, very cringe. Like, it doesn't matter if they consulted on that or not. It wouldn't have been a game that would have been for me, regardless. So, yeah, I just can't be that upset about this, man. I'm going to be honest. It's just cultural bullshit for the sake of it. I feel like, and I just don't care, bro. I don't care for console wars. I don't care for culture wars. I'm 33 years old. I'm too fucking old for this shit, bro. I just don't give a fuck.
Just enjoy what you like. Within reason.
Which is what I said to you, this next one is. So, mixtape come out, and it's some outlets are giving this a 10 out of 10s, and it's essentially like a walking sim game, skateboarding, and very much like a vibes game. You're following teenagers spending their last summer together before they're moving away. Features a lot of like 90s and I think some 80s bangers on the soundtrack, things like Smashing Pumpkins and stuff like that, which look, you might not like you may or may not like them. He does sound a little nasally, but I can do a bit of Smashing Pumpkins when I block my nose. Despite all my rage.
Today is the greatest.
And I do enjoy some Smashing Pumpkins, you know. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. And yeah, people are big mad about this. And I just think it comes down to just people with different taste. Right. I see this game and I can't see this being a 10 out of 10 personally. Like, for me, it's not a kind of game I'd enjoy. Just apparently as well, people have said the characters are all insufferable, but they're supposed to be. The people I've listened to who have played this, I've heard 3 different people, and one person was like, I enjoyed it. They're like, I might give it like an 8. One person who plays a lot of these narrative games was like, bro, I thought this was crap. It was a 3 out of 10 to me. Another person was like, yeah, it was fine. You know, I played half of it and I was like, it's not for me, but it was fine. The only thing I would say is with this, because like I say, it's just subjective. But I would say outlets need to be consistent on their reviews as my thing. And people go, oh, but look, this outlet has 5 different reviewers with different tastes and so on. But when you're doing on behalf of a company, I think that you're speaking for IGN or Eurogamer or whatever, right? And maybe it's got to be not just the one person's thing. It's different when it's a YouTube channel. It's like if I watch Skill Up, I'm getting his opinion. But if you're IGN, you're looking for IGN's overall, like trying to be objective. You can only be so objective as well, right? So it is a tough one, but I'm just not that upset about this getting these good reviews. And look, they gave Lego Batman an 8 and gave Mixtape a 10. I'm like,
who cares?
It's Lego Batman. I don't know. It's fine. It's like, yeah, I just can't be that upset about this either, man. It's
what was that?
Like
that IGN review of the Pokemon game, Too Much Water.
Yeah, I think we're putting too much stock in these reviews. I just think as well, like, we're in a weird time because culturally, for a long time, and this is not actually the purely like actual politics side, but the social side is that the left wing side was socially way more dominant for a long time, and it felt like the pendulum swung back the other way, and now we've got all these insufferable right wing cultural warriors that seemingly have the power right now, and I hate when this happens on either side of this. Like previously, like 2014 was actually the Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn side, right? The pendulum has swung back, and now it's the Asmongold's and I think it was JT Smash, these guys, and they are speaking on the stuff of the culture now. And both sides of it do suck. In 2014, I was complaining more about the Anita Sarkeesian stuff than now, when it's like, bro, it was 12 years ago. We're letting this shit go. It's fine. But it's just, and what will happen is the pendulum will swing back the other way again, and then the other side of the culture is going to be insufferable again. This is just what happens. It's just, and I just hate all of it. I just, like I said, 2012, 2014, I was a younger man, right? I was in my early 20s. Sure, this stuff might have pissed me off a bit more, like in general, but can we just be normal about things? Like, Animal Crossing is a good game. I'm not going to play it. I don't care for it at all. I don't give a fuck about Animal Crossing. I'm not going to get upset about people playing and enjoying Animal Crossing. I'll be honest, I don't get Tomodachi Life. I don't understand that one at all. I'm not going to get upset either, but like, people are like, it's really funny. The characters will just say out of pocket shit. I'm like, you should see me and the boys in the group chat. We are saying out of pocket shit all day, every day. So, little character said something out of pocket. Yeah, we're doing that shit ourselves.
You can do that in real life.
Yeah. So, I just think, man, people just need to, if you're getting real upset about Anita Sarkeesian being consulting and Slay the Spire 2, or if you're getting really upset about Mixtape getting a 10 out of 10, I just honestly think, bro, just get some fresh air. Go take your mind off it. Go do something else. Go take your dog for a walk. Go lift some weights. Go make love to a beautiful or mid woman, whatever you prefer.
Man.
Or man. Or man. Or man. Make love to a beautiful man.
Make love to a beautiful, all encompassing, make love to a beautiful or horrendous person.
There we go. Whatever you prefer, mate. Pick your poison. But just, it's just not worth getting that bent out of shape about, man. I think video games are important culturally and as an art form and as entertainment. I mean, video games gross, I think it was 2.5 times more than movies and music combined every year. Like, GTA 6 is about to be the biggest media release of all time. Not biggest video game. This is going to be bigger than any movie, any television show, anything ever. Like we've never seen before, right? So shit is important, but it's just not worth getting bent out of shape about this stuff. It's just not, man. You just gotta. I know it's kind of cringe and a meme now of being like touch grass, but man, just go spend some time with your friends. Do something else. Don't go out into your scuffed garage and do some boxing, mate. Good for you. That's what I did last night. Good shit. Yeah, man. It's just not worth it. It's just not the end of the world, though, bro. Just IGN gave a 10 out of 10 to Mixtape, and you didn't like the game. Okay, that's fine. You got any more thoughts on this, Stephen?
No, because I'm just like, I saw it was just like 10 out of 10, and it's just like, oh, that's quite generous. And I don't know, I kind of think IGN's kind of been pretty crap for a while, but I still use it because when I look up a game like review or like a guide, it's always one of the first options that pop up, and I'll be like, yeah, go on.
Yeah. I know as well, people hate this. It's like in the current day, it's like, oh, you should read the full review. I'm like, nah, I'm skipping to the little summary at the end, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to get like a, what do you thought? Gameplay was tight, music was good, 8 out of 10. You go, okay, fucking sick. Thank you. And then if I'm like, oh, this is the type of game that, once again, name his skill up, but he's the best example I can think of right now. Or maybe Nakey Jakey. He doesn't always do reviews, but he might talk about a game. You're like, oh, I've got a similar taste to him. He had this video, Nakey Jakey had this great video years ago, and it's like how Dark Souls saved him. He's just lying in a bed. Like just this freeform video just talking about how like Dark Souls like saved his life essentially. And I was like, this is a beautiful video. This is awesome. It was just so like earnest and genuine. Like I was like, oh, I love this. But you find it's like, oh, this guy likes similar things to me. This guy likes JRPGs. What do they think of Expedition 33? It's not Japanese, but spiritually a JRPG. And that's what I think is the best way to get your reviews. Just from like-minded individuals to yourself. And if you go and go, oh, I feel like I'm similar to Asmongold. I don't shower and roaches crawl on my body. So just, what does he think of Mixtape? He hated it. Okay, I'm going to hate it too. That's also fine. That's completely fine. If you find like, because he's like a World of Warcraft guy historically, I believe. And if you're like, I like similar things to him, that's fine. Or was it Josh Strife Hayes? If you're like, I have similar taste to him, how does he feel about this? I like wearing suits and ties. Yeah, but I think he likes MMOs as well, actually. I like pirate software. Okay, nobody likes them. Okay, moving on. I just named a bunch of MMO guys as well. Like, it's like, why were they all MMO guys? But yeah, that's what I think you should do more often, is try to find the people who have the similar taste to you, because they're going to give you more of what you want. Because it's hard. Like I couldn't objectively review something like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley, because it's not a kind of game I enjoy. I can't objectively, like, I can try, but this game, I'm sure this would be really fun for me if I liked picking vegetables and planting them, you know. Oh, if I liked fishing mini games, I'm sure I would love this, but I don't. It's like it is hard, and that's why I think it's better to go to these individuals than a publication anyway in current day. So, yes, another culture war segment. I know, but I think it is important to talk about it as much as it is frustrating to just see it because it's so much worse in gaming than anywhere else. And I don't know why, man. My black box is better than your black box. Okay, cool. You know, like the console wars and as well, dude. It just come on, man.
People just want
We
to
need to
feel
get
like
rid
they're on a winning team.
I think so. Well, which is interesting because the Xbox has got a lot of fans still, vocal fans online, and they've been a losing team for quite some time. But I've said I like talking about Xbox the most because I think they're the most interesting because they're so far behind now. They are just trying shit. It's just it's like, oh, here's Sony, they put prices up. Here's Nintendo, they put prices up. Microsoft's like, we are throwing shit at the wall, bro, and we're gonna see what sticks. And yeah, that's more fun to me.
Survey says, our customers like price decreases.
Yeah, let's put it up another 10%. So Summer Game Fest is coming up soon. There's also, I believe, an Xbox showcase and a state of play. But I want to get some predictions, so I'm going to start this one off. I think we're going to see High Guard 2. Once again, I'll make these jokes. I enjoyed High Guard. I enjoyed my 20 hours. I actually had a lot of fun with it. So yes, I guess I'm taking the piss, but you know, I've got to do it. I think we're finally going to get a date for Duskbloods. I think it's finally happening. So it was supposed to be earlier in the year. And From Software didn't say anything, but I think we are going to get it. I don't think it's going to be a Game Awards thing. I think it'll be at Summer Game Fest, and we'll finally get a release date. From Software's also working on a pirate. Well, it's rumored. It's very heavily rumored. It's like, but I don't think it's. I'll believe it when I see it. But a pirate game, I don't think we're going to see that. I don't even think it's in development. I don't think the rumors are particularly credible. So we will see. Next one, I think Clockwork Revolution is going to get a release date. This is game by In Exile. This is the steampunk RPG. And I think we're going to finally get a release date for that. Because the last time we saw it, they showed us quite a bit of gameplay. And it looked fairly well along. So, yeah, I think it's going to happen. What do you think, Stephen? You got anything?
No, apart from my safe bets of just little drip feeds of Virtua Fighter. But I'm okay with not having any predictions. I want to be pleasantly surprised.
I want you to pleasantly surprise me with the prediction.
Stranger Than Heaven.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
So we're going to... Oh, wait, doesn't it already have a release date? Early. Okay, they haven't actually put a release date. We've officially scheduled a release in winter 2026 or early Q1 2027. Yeah, this sounds like bullshit.
So that's the one that I'm always going to chuck on the board because I'm quite invested in RGG.
It makes sense.
And
yeah, I was supposed to ask you last night to give you a little more time to think about it, but I've put you on the spot now. So,
but that one's always locked away in the bag when it comes to any predictions. It's like it's a new IP for them. I just want one of my favorite studios to do well. Yeah.
I respect it.
Stranger Than Heaven. And maybe
Stranger Than Bevan.
And maybe Virtua Fighter. Because I don't think it feels like there's a lot more to do. Like I don't even think they have a full half a game. I think they've got some mechanics and some concepts. So it's like I think they are gauging. It's like, hey, if you want this, we can do it. But
Yeah.
and I hope they do.
We will see.
I hope they do.
I think so. I think we're more likely to get that possibly later, but we'll see. We'll see what we see. Games. I'll finish Saros. It's done. So last episode, I was quite critical of it, and I still am because I think Returnal was much better. However, once you get to the end game bosses in this game, they're really fucking good, man. The end game bosses are awesome, and as I've said before, gameplay driven game. So yeah, man, I really, really liked the end game of this. I say doesn't quite live up to Returnal for me, but yeah, it was very good. And once you get to the end, because I got to like the last boss area and I died a few times, and then I just got enough resource to essentially just power through it. And I just prefer the Returnal formula of like you would have to just get good. You would have to actually increase skill to beat it. But this you can just kind of hit your head against the wall enough times. And yes, I got better at the fight, but it felt like the stat boosts were actually pretty significant to get through it. So very, very good game. Also, our friend, one of our friends, James, who I've probably seen once since COVID, and he sent me a message on Facebook and just said, he said like, hey bro, I know it seems a bit out of the blue, but I see you're playing Saros. I'd love to get your thoughts on it, because I know we like similar types of games, like mostly Souls likes. That's how we first bonded. We're at a party, and we just started. I was wearing it because I'm a big fucking nerd, wearing like a Solia shirt. He was like, "Oh man, you play Dark Souls," and we just got on great. I sent him this fucking wall of text, bro. This was like, bam, you should scroll. You're like, holy shit. Gave him all my thoughts on it, all his comparisons to Returnal. And his response was like, oh, dude, thank you so much. This is exactly what I wanted. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because I was like, he's probably going to see this and be like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? And yeah, just because he'd started playing Returnal. So he was like quite interested. Yeah. So anyway, it was really good. Just get all my thoughts out there as well to a friend and just kind of justified how I was feeling about it. So Saros was very good. Like I say, they don't have the source when it comes to the narrative stuff and that kind of thing. They don't have like the facial animations aren't amazing, which I'm not that worried about. I love From Software games, so but they're trying to be like half a Sony game, half their own thing. And I think if they just committed to being themselves, I think it would have been a better game like Returnal. I think it's like maybe they were like, oh, we need to make this game easier because the Returnal was too hardcore. And I think it sold worse than Returnal. So, yeah. I stand by as well. I think Returnal is my second favorite PS5 game. To my beloved Astrobot. God, I love Astrobot. Look at that little guy back there. Look at that little guy. Yeah, and then Demon Souls remake, the PS3 remake. So, yeah. Saros is very good. It's just, and if you like Returnal, you'll like it. It's just, don't expect the same highs as Returnal. A very, very PlayStation lineup for me right now. I played a little bit of Marathon with the boys. We finally did Cryo Archive. We did 3 runs. First run, we got fucking smoked. The next 2 runs were really good. I got out with like 20k worth of gear. Chris got out with 40k. We're like, God damn, boy. I've got this bitchin' weapon. I got a gold shotgun. He got a gold something else, which is great. First gold weapons that we've had. Yeah, man. Like, dude, it's such a maze in there. We're trying to figure out where to go. DT and I find the extract. Chris is somewhere else, and he's like, oh, no, I've gotten lost. We're like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit, okay. And then we're like, look, DT's like, I'll try guide you. He's looking at the map and sees where he is, and he's like, okay, go this way. Turn left up here. You got to drop down this section. We've seen the countdown, like, go down. Was like, we have a minute left until we have to get the fuck out. Because me and DT are like, if you aren't with us, we have to leave. Because we will lose all our gear as well. He guides him through. We get out with 15 seconds to spare. And we're like, oh my God. And we were like, that was the third game. We're like, bro, we're calling it a night there. This was too much. But because it's the end of the season, like Cryo Archive, you've got to gear up with $5,000 worth of gear, right? So you've got to have like $5,000's like it's a good loadout, right? It's not like, you know, like Chris found $40,000 worth of shit, you know, so you can get right up there. That shotgun I found is like worth $10,000, I think, on its own. So you get even better gear, but $5,000's a good loadout. Because it's end of the season soon, we're like, fuck it. If we lose all our shit, the season's resetting in 2 weeks. Who fucking cares? So yeah, it's just good shit, man. There's so much good game design in Marathon. It's such a good game. I just wish it was doing a little better, you know? So yeah, but I haven't had as much time as I would like recently. But that's what I've been playing. Stephen, what have you been playing, mate?
Outside of the shenanigans of RVV,
Banger.
I haven't really been playing much outside of like since it's been like a little bit busy. I was like, all right, I've got a little bit of time to myself. I've just been like getting through Breath of Fire 4. I've hit chapter 3, which is good because game basically starts with there's two guys. There's one guy. His name's like Folu or Lufo, white-haired guy who's overpowered that you first play as. Then you've got Ryu, who's, you know, starts off at level 1. In the conclusion of like chapter 2, then chapter 3, there's a reason why those two are connected. I've got all the party members now. I've got Ursula, who's like this character, the only character who really uses guns, and her whole thing is she can hit multiple targets in one regular attack, which is good. The world, I've gotten a sandfly, which is your way of traversing the map, so I can like revisit old spots. Yeah, no, I've been real enjoying my time with it. I still have to have a guide and a missable items guide up on the second monitor though.
Yeah, old RPGs are unforgiving with that shit, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, you casually missed the best weapon in the game. Oh, well, too bad.
Me.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
Oh, and the final character of this to conclude this season of Street Fighter 6, Ingrid, comes out 28th. I haven't really looked up much, but she's apparently going to have like a boss variant, like a Shinakuma.
Oh. Is she a historic character or is she a new character?
So she started off in a game that didn't do too well. I think it was called like Capcom Fighting Jam. Let's see. And then she was a character in I think the PSP. She was originally set to appear in a cancelled 3D game, Capcom Fighting All-Stars, and instead make her debut in the 2D fighting game, Capcom Fighting Evolution. She was in Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max, but Street Fighter 6 is her first mainline debut. So she's been in crossovers and spin-offs.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, they do a bit of that, eh? Old Capcom. Makes sense.
So, and it's cool. Like, she looks gimmicky as hell. Looking forward to it because I wouldn't mind having a try. But I'm also, as soon as she's out, we can lead into next season. And I don't know, man. Fingers crossed that leak isn't true, because Vega, cool. Mike Hagar. Oh, you could put a more interesting character in there. Goken. I'd be keen to see what they do. I mean, he's only been in Street Fighter 4. He was pretty fun. He was Shoto with tricks. Tifa, I'm just like, nah, that's cool, but like we only get 4 characters a season. I don't want.
That is pretty standard though for fighting games
Yeah.
now to have.
I don't want
Here's
guest
your 4
characters
characters
to
in the
clog
past,
up.
and here's one guest character. That's often the way though, eh?
It'd be nice to get
Often how they do it now.
actual like new characters. And as someone online says, like for a game that takes place after Street Fighter 3, we really don't have much Street Fighter 3 representation. Curious.
I've seen Tekken players are saying is like with all the Street Fighter players complaining about potentially having Tifa, and Tekken players are like, please send her our way, please, we want Tifa. The Tekken players want Tifa so fucking bad. I think she actually would suit Tekken really well, to be quite honest. So, yeah, look, we'll take her. It's fine.
Because I mean,
Looking for Street Fighter refugees.
I mean, like Street Fighter 5, they had a crossover character with a character from rival schools, but like that's Capcom. That's Capcom IP. Akira, that was the character. No, not the Dragon Ball.
No, not the guy that did that slide on the motorbike.
Yeah. No, that's not even his name. No.
Well, look, I've never seen it, mate.
I watched it.
I actually should watch it. I probably should watch it just because it's cultural.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's the thing. Right? Big cultural hit. I assumed his name was Akira, and there was the Akira slide, but it's actually the slide from the film Akira.
Yeah.
Good to know. Or people get mad and like, no, it's actually Akira. You're like, oh, sorry, bro. I didn't put the Japanese spin on it. That's my fault.
Sorry, I see word. It doesn't say how to pronounce said word.
Yeah, I don't have to say it real fast like that.
Got knee on it. It's looking like Akira. You ever seen Akira? Yeah. What? No, you haven't.
Dude, I was thinking of the hand kill was like, are you Chinese or Japanese? Oh, God. All right. Let's end on a couple of reviews. So the review I've got is very nice. Now hand over Bloodborne. There's a review for Returnal by JZ, not JZ. There's JZ. Or just
Jizz. I hope it's pronounced jizz.
It sounds like your phone vibrating. All right, Stephen, what you got for me, big dog?
So I'm just going to build this up before I get to the game that I'm reviewing. So, game been out for a while, and then you see that it gets released on another console. Like, I remember my partner getting so excited that Oblivion was coming to, like, Switch 2. We were going through the e-store, and we saw that there was, like, a trailer for Dave the Diver coming to Switch 2. I was like, oh, that game. It's like, oh, I could get an itch for that when it's on sale. But we'll see. But no, the review is from Random Asshole. And his review is, wonderful game. I just wish they had asked before using me as a reference photo for the main character. Because he's fat. And has a goatee.
Good shit. So what you're saying, if I shave, I can sue them?
No, your face is way too slender.
No, I won't be content until I'm looking like Evil Boo.
Aim
Not quite.
Aim
Not quite.
for Super Boo.
Yeah. Super Boo's the goal. I aim for Kid Boo. I want to be real small and angry. All right, that's going to conclude episode 36. You got anything else to say, Stephen?
It's real small. Just remember, a reference.
Hello.
Oh, dude, yeah. Some would say it's micro.
Yeah. Look at that
The
screen.
micros were small.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. All right. So, yeah, episode 36. So we'll catch you on the next one, which guess what number that'll be? Can you guess?
37.
37. Nailed it. We'll catch you on episode 37. Peace.
Peace.